Okay, so my name's Brian. I'm the community guy. Let me just run down the lineup of what we got going on here today at our Prestige panel. I'm going to start down at the end. We have CJ Cowan, our cinematics director for Bungie and Halo 3 ODST. Let's hold the applause till the end.
You can clap for me. Go ahead.
All right, all right. Paul Bertone, design director at Bungie.
Yes.
Joseph Staten, writer and creative director for ODST. Marty O'Donnell, he writes music. And
Hold the applause, hold the applause, hold the applause.
that's enough, that's enough. You're cutting into your time. Over here we have Curtis Creamer, executive producer of ODST. Michael Wu, art lead for ODST. And this is Lars Bakken, senior designer on ODST.
Test. That's Brian Gerard, our
I said that first,
Brian.
yeah. Thanks, though. All right. So today we're going to take a little walk back through time on a magical journey and talk about Halo 3 ODST, the new game from Bungie. And to kick us off, I'm going to toss it over to Joe Staten. And we're going to go all the way back to just the beginning and the origins of sort of how did this game actually come to be? What's the idea that started this whole magical process?
All right, and just as a reminder to the crew up here, I'm going to be pressing the buttons. You guys are responsible for talking, so prepare to drop.
Yes.
All right, so when we start making games at Bungie, the first thing we think about is the character. And you guys have been playing Halo games for a while. You know the man in green, the Master Chief. This time around, we want to do something different. And we thought about a lot of characters, and Paul and the guys can talk a little bit about that, but this is where we eventually ended up. So, Paul, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the other crazy ideas we had? Remember that one with that other guy with the thing?
That one, and for those 5 minutes that we had to actually think about what we were going to do?
Yeah, it was good. It was good 5 minutes.
Yeah, we actually spent a good bit of time, a couple weeks to a month, talking about the different places we could take the Chief. We went through probably like 3 or 4 days of thinking about what we could do with the Arbiter, but at the end of the day, those stories felt very heavy to us. There was a lot of backfiction that we had to bring along with us. There was a lot of sort of making sure we got everything right, and we just wanted to start fresh. And we always felt that the ODST
We wanted to get it wrong this time.
Did we? Is that what we wanted to do?
Marty, I haven't let you speak yet, so just hang tight.
You need the pen to speak, okay. Marty. No, not that one. We love Marty. We're going to miss him when he's gone. Oh.
So, the ODST... Yeah, we'll explain where Marty's funeral donations can go later in the show. But the ODST, you guys are used to seeing him during the day. We thought a lot about maybe putting the ODST somewhere fighting along with Spartans. Maybe as a group of ODSTs, maybe tagging along with the Spartans. I don't know, Curtis, what other crazy stuff do we toss out early on?
There was some ideas about maybe exploring going back to Waypoint. I think.
Going back to Waypoint.
There was an idea about that. Did we talk about?
There was some talk in the studio early on about maybe just doing Halo 3 backwards at night for cost savings, I think was one of the things that was...
That was a good idea. That would have been very, very, very good.
Yeah, Michael, I think the artists were very in favor of that particular plan, weren't they? So, we thought, hey, let's do the ODST and, give him maybe from a new perspective. Everybody's seen him in Halo 2 and Halo 3, mysterious soldier in dark armor. But, we really never got inside the armor and talked about who the ODSTs were. So, hey, let's talk a little bit about what makes ODSTs cool. I don't know, Michael, you want to jump in a little bit? We got some images of the drop pod up here, and this is where we started. I mean, they're orbital drop shock troopers, right? We really wanted to nail the drop experience.
Right. If you were to talk to the 3D artists who had to reapproach this design, they took it very seriously. They didn't want to tread on some of the objects that you've admired and seen in the previous games. They worried over every detail, but in the end we did have to change the design a bit to make it more dramatic and really to play up the interior, because CJ was going to pull us through the ringer on that first thing, which I think you've all seen it by now, right?
The opening cinematic? Yeah, CJ, you want to talk a little bit about the drop sequence?
Raise your hand if you watched it in shaky cam on YouTube. You guys suck.
Actually, you guys are banned, so...
So thanks for showing up.
Yeah, once we decided we're doing the drop at the beginning, we put a lot of effort from a bunch of different departments, the effects department, the art department, the skybox. Lots of work went into that drop sequence to make it feel like a first-person experience, even though technically it's a cinematic. You can look around inside the pod while it's dropping and see a bunch of crazy stuff going on, and it's definitely the biggest thing we've ever attempted as a Halo opening.
So once we nailed, the character we wanted to be, what the sort of core experience of being a drop trooper was, we thought, well, where are you going to go? Where in the Halo universe could you go? And we thought about a lot of different places. And Paul, maybe if you talk a little bit about sort of our journey back to New Mombasa.
Yeah, I'd actually love to hear Mike's opinion on this too. Mike and I had some awesome discussions about where we wanted to go, also with Justin Hayward, another art lead on the project. So.
By the way, I don't think awesome means what you think it means.
It means exactly what I think it means.
I have a very different recollection.
Look, we're smiling now, Mike, right?
Yeah, I remember some tense drunk conversations. That was fun. So, New Mombasa is one of these places that you've certainly seen in Halo 2. You sort of know the story of the Master Chief, and you see it from in the distance in Halo 3. But there are a lot of stories that happened in the city, stuff we've really never talked about before. And of course, New Mombasa is this sort of dry, Eastern African town. Mike, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about sort of the original vision for the city.
So the art team on ODST was led by myself, Justin Hayward as our art director, and also with some additional art direction from Chris Barrett, and then also Dorje Belbrook, one of our most senior concept artists. And so Dorje and Justin, both being sci-fi geeks, really wanted to worry over every detail. I know that Paul and Joe just talked about how they were willing to tell a story about ODSTs because it gave them more freedom. Well, for the art team, they were like, but if you do it in New Mombasa, we did a whole game where we were talking about that stuff, and now we're going to do different things in it. And it was painful at first, but then once they realized the freedom.
I don't think painful means what you think it means.
Once we realized that our jobs depended on it, we came around to the idea of fleshing out areas of New Mombasa that we hadn't visited before, this corporate sector that was controlled by an AI and therefore had lots of prefab elements to it. And oh, there he is.
Please silence your cell phones. Thank you.
I thought that was a superintendent.
Hey, in Halo 2, though, we got a good sense of the whole city. Wasn't there a map that was in the multiplayer, on one of the multiplayer
That's the pain
levels,
I'm talking about.
Maybe you guys want to clear that up, because it sounds like just people have already sort of seen enough of the game to piece together and know that we've taken some liberties with the geography, perhaps? Or what's the story behind that?
The space tether moved too, didn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Again, you're not allowed to talk yet. I keep explaining this to.
Everything we make is canon. It's fine.
Marty, you can talk anytime you want. Yeah, so Paul can talk a little bit about the changes we made. All so it would be more fun, actually.
Yeah, we as we started prototyping out spaces and struggling with the technology that we build our BSPs and all our geometry on, it sort of became apparent we weren't going to be able to just build, I'm going to say mass amounts of geometry, even though we did, Mike.
Yeah, we did.
Let me finish. So we definitely had to look and see where we could kind of cut corners to make everything fit together. And we...
Cut corners. That was the word you weren't supposed to use.
This is why we sat you guys at two separate tables.
Optimized. We optimized.
Yeah.
We
like
optimized, right.
The one thing I think we've ever done before, though, we've seen New Mombasa during the day, but one of the cool things is we never really seen it at night. Ooh, yes, children, yes. And, for us, the nighttime city, I think, really made us think about stuff we'd never really thought of with New Mombasa before. You look at this picture and you immediately get a sense of mystery and a city that has lots of, empty nooks and crannies, places to go, stuff to check out.